Alex is one of the most competitive people I have ever met.
Very, very driven.
Intense. I've never met anybody so focused.
Utterly competitive guy. He can never just sit still.
I think there are many Alexes. You know, the Alex that I've got to know is actually incredibly humble. He's one of the legends at the top of his sport right now, but with that is enormous humility and an incredibly challenging mind. And I think this comes down to the fact that when he's out there alone, he needs to know that everything is absolutely in working order and he's got the best of everything he can to do the job.
Challenging, I would say. I think he challenges me, sometimes to do things that are not in my comfort zone.
He won't take no for an answer. You know, if he asks you to do something, you say it's not possible, he'll say, keep going, because I need to get there and I need this solution. And you always find a way, and he's always right. And it's so frustrating at times, but I'm learning to think outside the box now a lot more.
He has a lot of energy for this. You know, you can see that winning the Vendée and the team and racing these boats offshore, that's his, kind of his life work. And he's very driven. He's very creative in his thinking of how to do things differently. And I think he likes the idea of always trying to think of the next step. So in that sense, it's really interesting because we're all pushed quite a lot to come up with different ways of, different ways to make the wheel go around, different ways to make everything work. And so in that sense, everyone's constantly being pushed, but in a creative and interesting way.
He's fully engaged in the boat and he understands the boat very well. It's great because he's offering a constant coaching role as well. So you could learn so much from that.
He will challenge you, but I mean, it's enjoyable. So Alex will push you to get the best out of you. So he'll push me in different ways and make me think differently so I get the best out of what I'm doing. He'll do that with everyone. He will push every person as hard as they can in a positive way to help him get the best boat he can on the start line.
Alex is actually a very technical person within our team. He's got a very strong knowledge of these boats and how they work. So he knows when to put the foot down, he knows when to pull the foot off. I don't think that's really changed. He will still sail fast, but he just knows when not to sail fast and when to sail fast, and that's based on his technical ability.
The mental side of single-handed sailing is very, very difficult, very, very mentally hard. It's punishing, and I think is probably the difference between the top players in that sport is they're probably all very technical, they've had good background, they've got good support, they've made their way to getting good sponsors, but the guys that do well are people who are very, very strong mentally. And I can see it in Alex that he's got the strength of character to do that, and that's why he does well in these events.
I think what's interesting when you look at the media perception of Alex is that when we look back towards his early career, he was perceived as somewhat of a maverick. And what we've seen really over the years is the perception of Alex has grown and has improved with every race that he has competed in.
I think the fans on social media are so invested in Alex because who Alex is. He is a sociable person. He loves to interact with the fans, and that interaction means a lot to him. And you can see that when he publishes a video that he's interested in, he'll ask, what are people saying about it? Do people enjoy it?
He has this amazing ability to overcome adversity. I think he's incredibly resilient.
He's amazingly positive, even in situations which are seemingly dreadful or unimaginable to normal people. He seems to talk like a normal human being, whereas other people will be panicking or stressing.
I remember at the end of the Route de Rhum when we realised that, unfortunately, we probably weren't going to win, and Alex was handed the 24-hour penalty. Up until that point, we were so hopeful that we were going to win that race. He'd raced a phenomenal race up until that point. I think if that had been many other skippers, they would have really struggled to compose themselves, and to talk to the media from the moment that he stepped off that boat. Alex didn't need any help with that. Everything that the media and the fans saw at that moment was Alex. He is incredibly humble. He actually is very modest. And what you saw was a genuine reaction from an athlete who was utterly disappointed in himself for not achieving the result that he had wanted and that he had earned.
Along with some of the knockbacks and setbacks that you get in this sport and that he's had, to stay so driven and competitive and focused with the same relentless energy to win that race is incredible.
You can feel and see it every day that he is very much involved with ATR, and his life evolves simply around winning the Vendée Globe.
He's been through a number of circumstances which have been hugely unlucky, but the fact that he still manages to run a team and is the skipper and therefore the leader of a team, we keep on coming back, and you look at him and it means you have no excuse. It means that you have to go into work every day and make sure you're doing the absolute best that you can, because that's what Alex does. And therefore there's no excuse not to do that.
He's just exceptional in what he does. But to be able to do what he does, you need to be an exceptional person. Yeah, I'm in awe what he does. I think it's amazing to work in the team and try to help him reach his goals, which is winning the Vendée.